Welcome to a new Draw My Life video.
Do you believe in fate? An old Eastern legend says that people destined to meet each other are tied to a red thread that links them. This thread never disappears and it remains tied to them constantly. Invisible to the human eye, it's resistant, capable of bearing any twist or knot, in spite of time and distance. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to meet this person, nor the time you spend without seeing him or her, or whether this person lives close to you or in the other side of the world. There is no obstacle that can break it. The thread will always be as long as the infinite and will keep those two people tied forever. This thread is with us since we're born, and it comes along with us, tense or not, knotted or not, throughout our whole life. If you like Japanese culture, you probably have seen on an anime or read on a manga some reference to this red thread. According to the legend, we are all born predestined to meet the person who will be our partner in life. It's not chance that our friends are our friends, and that unsuccessful relationships are nothing but part of the process until we meet our chosen person. This belief is famous both in Japan and in China, and it's a similar thought to that of the soulmate. In China, people think this thread is tied around the ankle. In the Japanese theory, the red thread is tied to our little finger. And this choice of finger is not a coincidence either. The pinky is connected to the heart by the lunar artery. It doesn't matter how it is tied to us. All the stories coincide in the fact that we can't escape from it. It's impossible. If we are tied, the power of fate will move heaven and earth to have us find each other along the way. The origin of this tradition is uncertain, but people say during the Edo period, women back then cut off their little fingers as an act of love, and their lovers saw it as an act of fidelity and loyalty. It was also something similar to what people do in the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia, to apologize and show their loyalty to the boss when they commit some kind of betrayal. During the samurai times, it was also a grand action. The amputation of this finger meant you couldn't use your sword. The katana, for a warrior, meant his life, so cutting off the little finger was considered a great penance. There are several popular legends related to this invisible thread. In Chinese mythology, people tell the story of the god of marriage, the old man under the moon. A venerable old man who lives in the moon and each night comes down to earth to find the newborns and place the red thread of fate so they find their predestined person and never lose him or her. In Japanese homes, they all know the fable of the young emperor, who a long time ago found out a very powerful witch lived in one of the provinces of his kingdom. This witch had the ability to see the red thread, and the emperor asked to have her come in his presence. When the witch arrived, the emperor asked her to find the other end of the thread he had tied to his pinky and take him to the woman who would become his wife. The witch accepted and started following the thread. This search took her to a market where she saw a poor peasant holding a baby. When she found her, she told the young emperor to get closer and said, "This is where your thread ends." But when he heard this, the emperor became really furious, thought the witch was playing with him. He pushed the girl and made her fall. The baby suffered a big injury on the forehead. He made his guards hold the witch prisoner and cut her head off. Many years later, the moment came for the emperor to get married, and his court advised him to marry the daughter of a very powerful general. He accepted, and the day of the wedding arrived. When he first saw the face of his wife, who came in the temple with a veil that covered her completely, when he raised the veil, he saw she had a curious scar on her forehead. The belief of the red thread of fate is very rooted in the Eastern cultures, and lots of people carry a red thread to symbolize love. This thread connects eternal and deep love of parents, siblings, friends. It makes a lot of sense. Many times, coincidences are so powerful that they don't really seem coincidences anymore. Do you believe people are predestined? We are sure we were predestined to meet you all. Thank you for always being there.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.